Hey guys, SugarEX here. So yeah, this video will be about the foil grading video again. Except this time would be about the 10 main vanguards of BT11. So yeah, there's one main vanguard for India Feather, two for Kagero, two for Narukumi, two for Aquaforce, and two for Tachikaze, and one for Genesis. Yeah. So yeah, basically this will just be a grading video in my personal opinion about these cards. I'm currently missing 3 cards because I've sold them away, which would be Fortuna, Zerashio, which is the Angel Feather one, and Tyranno Legend. So yeah, I would probably just be saying their names and not be showing you the cards. So yeah. Okay, firstly, in my opinion, the number one out of all the great trees would be Zero Dragon Blockade Inferno. This card is a really good card, I would say. Yeah, it's my favorite out of the deck. I could be a little biased, I was maybe, you know, because I am playing this deck, I'm playtesting this deck, so I know how strong this is. And yeah, so I really like this guy. For those of you who don't know, his skill is Limit Break 4, Counter Blast 2, retire all of your opponent's Grade 2 rearguards. And yeah, he gets plus 10,000. So yeah, some of you might be asking, wouldn't this be like similar to any other Narukumi card? They're like these cards every single front row unit or something. And not really. It's because of the mechanism of the deck that this unit is fit in. It's quite troll, I would say. Yeah, because there are certain cards that actually help to discard your opponent's rearguards and force them to call grade 2s. So yeah, I have played a game once where my opponent's whole fail was grade 2s. I used his skill and yeah, five grade 2s into his damage zone. I mean to his drop zone. So yeah, I really like this card, and yeah, it's first on my list. Next up would be Sweep Commando Dragon, which is the Narukumi one. The Narukumi main vanguard. Oh, it's blurred. Okay. Yeah, so the Narukumi main vanguard. He's second because his skill doesn't retire as much units as Blockade Inferno does, but he does not get enough. He does not get the same amount of power as Blockade Inferno, but he does give you a chance to draw a card, so that could be really helpful. Yeah, so his skill is Counter Blast 2 and Soul Blast 2. Limit Break 4, Counter Blast 2, Soul Blast 2. When one of your opponent's units are retired through a skill, so it can be any skill, not just his skill. It can be like Vary Sword skill or Electric Shaper skill or something like that. Yeah, choose one of your opponent's front row rearguards and retire that one. So he does work very well. The moment if you have Vowing, if you break right him on top of Vowing, your opponent's front row is totally gone. So yeah, and you get to draw a card and he gets plus 5k. So yeah, yeah, his next skill would be choose a Eradicator unit and put it into your soul, and choose one of your opponent's front row rearguards and retire them. So yeah, basically even if you don't have a Vowing Sword, you can use this guy's skill to retire a unit. So that would be my second place card. Let me shift the cards. Okay. My third place actually would be Fortuna, not so I do have Fortuna now. So but basically Fortuna's skill is Limit Break 4, Soul Blast 3. When these units drive track reveals a grade 1 or greater Genesis, you may pay the cost. If you do, put the card from the drive track into your drop zone and perform an additional drive check. So this ability, I would say, it's really creepy. Yeah, it's because like, for example, if you're at 4 damage and your opponent attacks you with Fortuna, especially if you're the type of people, or you're the type of person who likes to play 12 crit. I think Genesis has 8 crit. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So but let's just say you play 12 crit. Most likely you're gonna just use Fortuna skill and just keep hoping for a critical trigger so that you get to end your opponent. So this is really like a change of luck, I would say. It's not so much about skill anymore. It's just knowing when to guard and when not to guard. So I mean, when to use the skill, when not to use the skill. So yeah, Fortuna is quite a good card, but I find that her ability is a bit conditional. So yeah, I would put it behind Blockade Inferno and Sweep Commando. And yeah, and her second skill would be, you know, Soul Blast 3, and yeah, she gets plus 5k. So yeah, she's in third place. Okay, moving on. In fourth place is another card that I do not have, which would be Zerachiel. I did a Celestial deck profile. You guys can go and check it out if you want. But yeah, basically her skill is Limit Break 4. During a turn, if you have a face-up card in the damage zone with card name Solidify Celestial Zerachiel. So basically, if she's in the damage zone and she's face-up, all your other units gain plus 3000 power. And her second skill will be counterblast 2 cards with Celestial in its card name, and this unit gets power plus 5k. So why this card is good in my opinion is because, you know, if you play a Celestial deck, which I probably would think that every single card in your deck is a Celestial, but yeah, I mean, so even if it's not, I guess a majority of them will be. So all of them will get plus 3k, right, when she has Limit Break off. And yeah, and it's not difficult actually to get her into the damage zone using Sarah's skill. Sariel, I think. Yeah, basically the Angel Feather version of Dancing Princess of the Night Sky, except that it's putting into the damage zone and not into the so yeah, it's quite easy to get her into the damage zone, just that it's quite hard not to use her for a counter blast. But I would say that, you know, for the effect that she has, right, it's plus 6k to a full roll, so that will take away another 5k of your opponent's hand. So yeah, she's really good. So she's in 4th place. And 5th place would be last card, Revan. Okay. In my opinion, the first two cards, they actually plus power and give you advantages. In addition to discarding your opponent's regards. Fortuna is a bit conditional, but she has a good skill, so she's in 3rd place. And Zerachiel is in 4th place because, you know, she powers up almost the whole entire field. So that's why Revon's in 5th place. Because Revon's attack, you know, our first Revon skill, Limit Break 4, Counterblast 1 and Revon, and if all your front row units are rested, Revon gets plus 3k and 1 crit. And his second skill is Counterblast 1 and he gets plus 2k power. So yeah, the reason why he's in 5th place is not because he's weak, but it's because if you charge up an attack and your opponent just negates it, then, you know, it's gone. That's what you can do. So it doesn't actually benefit your other rows or columns or anything. So you gotta, you know, make full use of his skill, like, yeah, when you have the chance to. But the thing is that he can, you know, all your front row units being rested isn't that hard to do, so he is quite good, I would say. So yeah, he's in 5th place. Okay, moving on to 6th place, I would say is Genovius. I actually had quite a hard time thinking whether I should put Genovius in 5th or 6th place, but because he's a 10k and a chain ride, so you might not get a chain ride off, so he might be 10 for the game. And also because he requires a Persona Blast, so it is a bit difficult, I would say, to get his skill off, but I really do like his skill, which is Limit Break 4, Counter Blast 2, and if all your front row units are rested, I mean, you can stand your whole row, you can stay your whole field, I mean, yeah. But of course you must Persona Blast must discard him. So yeah, that is actually a really good skill. If it doesn't require a Persona Blast, or if it just wasn't a chain ride, it was like 11k, right, I would seriously, you know, bump him up above Revon. But just for the reason that he's 10k, you know, so yeah, that's quite sad. But yeah, so he's in 6th place. And moving on after that would be so 7th place. Yeah, 7th place would be Armor Break Dragon. Armor Break Dragon, his skill is pretty cool, I would say. yeah, his skill is, Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3 and choose 3 cards from your hand and discard them. Retire all of your fighters' front, rear, rear guards, and this unit gets plus 1000 and critical plus 2. So, I mean, he does get plus 10k and he gets 2 crit, but the conditions for it to be activated, which would mean discarding all of your rear guards, as well as, discarding your front row rear guards and discarding 3 cards from your hand, and a 3 counterblast cost. So which means that you can almost only use it once, unless you have like Zuitan or you're lucky enough to get a Hail Trigger. But yeah, another good thing about his skill is that you get to retire your opponent's front row rear guards as well. Yeah, so it's kind of it's good, but it's not that good at the same time. So it has a high cost, but it's good. But yet it's easily blockable, but at least you get to retire your opponent's front row rear guards. So yeah, I would say he's in 7th place. And 8th place would be the following card, which is actually Tyranno Legend, which I do not have with me as well. Tyranno Legend, I would say that his skill is a bit too heavy, because Tyranno Legend actually his skill it's give me a moment. Yeah, so his skill is Limit Break 4. Choose 3 of your no, it's not Limit Break. So Tyranno Legend actually does not have a Limit Break effect, so it's kind of good, I would say. It helps you to attack, to hit, get your skill off early. So choose 3 of your rear guards with Ancient Dragon in its card name and retire them. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets power plus 10,000 and 1 crit. And his second skill is Counterblast 2 cards with Ancient Dragon in its card name, and this unit gets power plus 5,000. Yeah, so basically there is a Limit Break. I'm sorry, I didn't see the LB4 sign. So yeah, it is Limit Break 4. But yeah, so he and Armor Break is basically in the same zone, I would say. Both of them actually require a high cost to get its effect off, with yours being retire 3 of your rear guards. But Armor Break Dragon, for Tyranno Legend, it doesn't actually require you to counterblast, except for its plus 5k skill. So it does help you to save more counterblast for like your other cards or something. So yeah, that would be better in a way, but Armor Break actually gets plus 2 crit, and 10,000 power, and it retires your opponent's front row. So yeah, it's quite close, but I would say that Tyranno Legend would be 1 row behind Armor Break. So yeah, moving on to the last 2 cards, which these are the only 2 cards which I find that are pretty useless in this box, in my opinion. Some of you might find that it's fine, but in my opinion it's this way. So 9th place would be Batterax. His skill is Limit Break 4. When this unit drive tracks a grade 3, it gets plus discard a card, I think. Yeah, discard a card from your field or rear guard circle. Yeah, I think it's just discard a card from your rear guard circle. Wait, let me check. But anyway, yeah, and he gets plus 10,000. And its second skill is when this unit is boosted by Tachikaze, it gets plus 3k. So yeah, choose one of your rear guards and retire it. So yeah, the thing is that if your opponent negates this skill is practically useless. And the thing is that you only run like 8 grade 3, so it's kind of hard to get his skill off. His skill is like, it's not like Sarah, which gets you to swap out grade 3, so can swap anything for anything inside your soul. But instead he only gets plus 10,000 power. I know it's good for bypassing your opponent's like guard, but it's really like conditional. So yeah, but it's good that he has plus 3,000 power when boosted, so he can at least hit like cross rights and stuff. Another thing is that I would actually prefer for this card to be something like Stem C, like opponent's unit cannot discard, or yeah, opponent's unit skill cannot discard this unit or something. that would be a card that I would really like, and I think I might build in Ancient Dragons if that card comes out. But sadly, yeah, they gave us this. I mean, it is quite okay for budget build, I would say, but it isn't that great. So yeah, I would really like for something like a Stem C clone in Tachikaze. That would really make Tachikaze a really good clan. And yeah, I wouldn't mind even if that card is a triple rare, I would still get it. So yeah. And lastly, of course, the BT2 card, a Zero Dragon Blockade. It's a reprint. So you know, and this skill is that when this unit is on the field, your opponent cannot, or when this during your turn, your opponent cannot intercept. So yeah, back in the days of BT2, I would say that this skill isn't that bad, but now currently in the current meta, being a 10k and having this type of skill, it doesn't actually bring much justice to this card. So yeah, that's it for my foil grading video. I don't know if you guys agree with me or disagree, but yeah, so just leave some comments and you know, tell me what you think are your top 10 for these 3 cards. And as usual, subscribe, like, and you know, yeah, thanks for watching guys. Bye.